if you would have asked me this question when I was 19 or 20, I would have a total different answer.
Well, as
What
they
I
say,
have right now.
men always think with their other head. You know,
That's true.
right?
Some men.
Some men.
Most men.
Okay,
Let's
okay,
say
okay,
most
look,
men,
look.
90% of men think with their other hand. If she's bomb as hell,
That's what I'm saying.
and
Like,
you guys go stupid retarded. Let's be clear.
no. Look.
Yes.
Powerful.
All right. Let me take this. Okay, go.
We
Okay.
try to be humble, but
Right.
we make it so powerful that it's just like, what do we do?
Right.
Okay.
We try to be calm and collect and be like, it's not that serious, but then y'all make it seem so serious. It's like, oh, so we actually have power here. I mean,
No, that is
to
definitely.
me personally,
Y'all do
No, that is
Y'all
a
do
statement.
that.
Power. There is some
and
power
I've been
there.
on there for a while, and then I didn't, and I'm not gonna say that has, like, that should be the only thing, but when you're in it with a relationship for a long time, you start to sense, like, it's more than just that. But at the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, you do start to think or wonder, like, if it's just about one thing or one thing only. So I think when you invest your time, like Randy was saying, if you don't just give it up right away, you can really figure out if it's more than just a relationship or not. I'm not surprised I'm still with my man because I didn't give it up to him like that. So I think to be different than what's out there is really where you're gonna find who's real and who's not. Because everyone's giving it up. I'm telling you, everyone's giving it up. When I say everyone, I'm not talking to everyone. I'm talking to those who get offended by what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, I've been cheated on. So, I mean, then the counts of women that I think cheat on me with, I mean, it just led me to believe that, okay, I'm not the only one. So,
Right.
I didn't feel as special. So to be in a relationship where you feel like you're the only one is a big difference, especially when you hold it back at the beginning of the relationship versus like giving it away. There's two big difference. Like I definitely felt a difference giving it away at the beginning. And I know I was with a person with a lot of money at that time, and I did give it up. So I can speak from two point of views, but because I'm in a relationship that's more secure, there's a big difference in like giving it up and not giving it up. I get more respect. I got way more respect out of this relationship versus when I was giving it up to a man who supposedly loved me for me.
And I think it makes a woman feel more respected as a woman when you start talking to a guy and he's not throwing sexual slurs or comments, or you guys hang out and he's just like, you know, trying to feel on you, or, you know, trying to be like, you just feel more respected, you know.
You're worth more than just your body.
Yeah, it does, you know. I mean,
there's a time and a place like to actually do that, because the interesting part about how this conversation is going for people who are actually listening closely to it, everyone that's actually talking, especially the women that are talking, they're in relationship, they're in long-term relationships,
Right.
and so they have a very particular view on this particular issue. Now, if we had a round table of different women, single, young, a little bit older,
You have a whole
the
different life.
outlook may be a little
Yeah,
bit different.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
in this particular conversation, it's good to hear because what? Brittany, how old are you?
29. Since I gotta put it on air, you can mind.
Okay, so yeah, Brittany's 29, Brittany 32. Everybody in here, y'all 32, 32. So we're all around the same age. Now, since Brittany is the youngest, her perspective on how she looks at things, how she looks at men, how she like views like sex in her relationship,
Or
or just
her,
in general.
or her experiences in life. Because that has a big factor into your experiences in life also. Because I went out a buddy who he's been with the same girl since he was like literally 17 years. So his view on this is going to be completely different. Because he hasn't had his experience, you know, different women or different situations. You know, so her perspective is just basically everybody's perspective is always based off of this your experiences in life and what you went through so far.
Yep. So, anybody have
we're doing a
anything?
second part.
There is a second part. So the second part is probably the more fun part, and that has to do with the money. And so, let me read exactly what that part says.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say something before you got to that.
Oh,
So
go
I
ahead.
had to make like a small little note to myself. I basically said that when you remove sex from a relationship, you'll really get a strong sense of how strong your relationship really is. I mean, like it's a good testament for your relationship. Like, let's see what happens if we take the sex out? Can we deal with our day-to-day struggles and things that come up? You know, it might be. It's. I like to say it's a good test to your foundation. I like to think of a relationship kind of like a building, right? You got your groundwork, and then you have a foundation, then you have your structure and your bones, and then after that you have your finished product. You know, when you remove sex, you really can see how good that foundation and structure really is, because if it's not that well, the finished product is going to crumble.
That's right.
You know, so I think it.
Come on, brother.
That's like construction, man. It's hard.
Right. Come on, brother. Preaching
So-
up this thing.
So I think I think that people should they should practice it from time to time, just to see, make sure that you are where you think you are, or where you want to be. I think it's important that people know where they are, so that you know if you're wasting your time or not. You know.
No, and it's true because a lot of people use sex as a cover-up. It's easy, to, like they say, throwing
Yes.
something under the rug. You know,
We got a problem. All right, well, I can fix this. Let's
make
just
up
have-
sex.
yeah,
Let's just have sex.
Exactly.
Let's have sex. But sex is
That's
not
where
always
makeup
going.
sex comes from.
Right.
That's right. And it's not always going to keep a relationship together. But on the other hand, it has kept a lot of relationships together by just having sex, because they feel that, you know, sex is an intimate time to connect and to bond, and then
Right.
we just forget about the real shit that really matters.
It's necessary.
But like he said,
for
though,
one.
take
I
away
mean,
sex,
It
and
has
then
to be. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that it shouldn't matter, but sex definitely has to be like important to both people in the relationship.
Correct.
You just,
Yeah, but sometimes it's not important.
I will forever want my
just
man to
wanna
make me
get
feel sexy,
their
and
shit
I
off.
will forever want him to feel good. So it's just like, I just feel like in that department, when a woman lies, I feel like that's where insecurities start opening up, or where they start wondering, like, is he getting it from somewhere else? I mean, I hear even in some of my friends' relationships where they've gone 3 months, and me, I'm like, I could never. So it's just like, it's not that I could never, it's just like, if he did that to me, what would I do? It's almost like I tried to go be available for
So
him.
do you feel like
just
you
I
have
want
sex
him
with
to be
him?
available for me.
So do you feel like you do it a lot of the time because you feel like you fear that he might step out if you're not doing the sex?
No, I just feel like it's a big part of like where I'm headed in a relationship, like marriage. I feel like it's a big part of marriage. I feel like it's a big part of, like you said, bonding. We have 3 kids.
but you can bond through
So
intimacy without being
that's like,
physical.
honestly, that's like the only
That's
time
what-
we can bond sometimes, because I don't see him sometimes throughout the week. So it's like, with his work schedule, so it's like, when I do see him, I want to make sure that he gets his needs met as well, because I know he's been out on the road a lot. So it's like, it's different. It's different scenarios. It just depends on like what your life situation is. Like, if you're at home every day, then I get it. Like, maybe you guys can take a break or so. But for me, I just feel like with my man and his work schedule, it's just, I feel like I have to make sure that our relationship is strong, not just because of sex, but because I know he has needs, as well as me. It's just like, that's a very intimate moment that I think it's important that we know that that's still there, no matter how long our work takes us away from each other.
But I'm telling you, but okay, going back to what the post said, take away sex, okay? You can still have intimacy without physical act of sex. So if you
Because you don't want to forget that.
you don't want a relationship to just solely be based on that. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been saying, like it has to be deeper than that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
intimacy. Like look at the true definition of intimacy.
Mhm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happened, for some reason, he was, God forbid, he became wheelchair bound, where now you can't have sex as much as you guys would, because it sounds like you feel that kind of what keeps the relationship together, because he's on the road. So you take that out, a lot of people don't, like you said, it's foundation. So what do you guys have now? You know? And a lot of people, they lose
Well,
their
I
stuff.
wouldn't
You
say,
know?
Keystone, let me rephrase that. I won't say, I was trying to say it in a way where it didn't come off like it keeps it together. I was just trying to say I think it's very important in a relationship.
Right. It
But,
absolutely is.
like for instance, my fiance was down for a while because he had recently gotten stabbed in the head. So I mean, I had to be there for him, and it wasn't about, of course, sex. It was more about nurturing him and being there for him as a significant other. I would never dare to think that, oh, let's try to get, nasty, like you got a stab wound. Like, I would never. And this was a hate crime, so this really felt like threw off my whole family. So to see, like, something like that can really just you know, throw my family off. It was just like, it was another connection where I was just like, you know what, like, it's just, I don't know, it's just more of a security thing that we're okay. It has nothing to do with like sex being important. I don't know how you want to say it. Like, it's not priority in a relationship. He reminds me all the time that he appreciates me being his backbone and just being his like other half in the relationship. Like, I get that. But I'm just saying, if I'm going to be in a relationship with him for the long term, and even if he was wheelchair bound, I would do whatever to make sure he felt like he doesn't have to worry. I think that's the most important time to make sure he feels like he's important, because he will probably feel really low at that point as well, being unable to do the things that a family man normally does, being wheelchair bound. I have to get a stripper pole, and that's what I'll do if he can't use his thing. Like I'm just saying, as his wife, I will make sure that that department don't suffer as much as I can as long as I'm alive or disabled. I was just saying, I think it's important that part of the relationship is there, because I mean, I know people who are in relationships and they're not intimate, and you be like 3 months, 6 months, a year. And yeah, I get it. If you're a virgin and you're waiting till marriage, I get it. But also, like, when you're in a relationship for the long haul,